Do you want to be featured on Kenchi School?
Kenchi School.
Hello everyone, this is Artrisha from Kenchi School. Today's project that I'm making is actually my participation for the Artathon event organized by Inteligami. Now let me tell you a little more about the Artathon. Basically, you have to create whatever kind of creative project you want to create on the paper provided by them. Now this paper is really special. This paper is actually made such that it can be recycled. It contains the seeds of carrots and I believe marigold, so that whenever you want you can water your project and you can grow plants out of them. So this is how the package looks, and this is the seeds embedded into the paper. Now this is marigold because I know I have some marigold plants in my house, so this is how the seed looks. And this is the carrot seed paper, and that is what I'll be using for today's project. I decided to create a bookmark out of this paper today. So for that, I'm first trimming down my paper using my VR memory keeper, score and trim board. But as you can see, this has a lot of cotton in it, this paper, and it has a lot of tooth. So a trimmer is not really something that would cut this because it's thick paper. So I had to eventually use my scissors to get the size of bookmark that I'm going for. And I'm going to save this paper for my future projects. I am using the Polynesian Paradise stamp set by My Favorite Things today, and I'm using my Stampaholic here to stamp out my image that is of a girl doing the hula. And I will not be using black ink because initially I was under the impression that I'm not going to do a black border image, rather a no border water painting. But you'll see at the end it did not really turn out that well, and I do add borders later. So I am using the old parchment dye ink by Artistry ink, which is by the company Shilpi here, and I'm going to ink it up really well. What Stampaholic helps over here is that since this paper is not really very smooth, it may not stamp out the image in the first go. But using the door of the Stampaholic, I can go again and stamp out, and the paper is not going to move since I have put it in position and placed it using the magnets, and hence I can have a better stamp out of this. For doing the watercoloring today, I am again going to use the dye inks by Artistry ink. I am using the colors Morning Dew, Tenacious Steel and Ocean Reef to create the background. So I'll make some sky, some ocean and land. For the brushes, I'm using this artist brush, which was a gift from my secret Santa, who's not very secret, and I'm going to use these brushes today. So I have swatched all the three inks onto this plastic sleeve. It is not any craft mat. I've just put some white printer paper into a plastic sleeve, which we usually put into our files for certificates, etc., and that works perfectly fine for this method. And as you can see, I've already started painting with Ocean Reef over here. Let me tell you, I am not a water painter at all. I am very naive or very immature at this, but I was so inspired by Christina Werner's recent video where she does the real-time no border water painting that I really wanted to do this. Though the no border part did not really work out, I need more practice for that, but I was really inspired by all the techniques she has been teaching us over the years, where you put in some paint at the top and you drag it using water to create the gradient. I am adding some Tenacious Steel from the bottom towards and creating a gradient upwards to give the land kind of color. I'm going to dry this layer and I'm going to go ahead and start painting the sky. For the sky, I was using the ink Morning Dew, but as you can see, it's hardly visible, and I realized this, and what I decided is to mix some of that Ocean Reef into the Morning Dew color, and that creates a little more vibrance so that it is visible, yet it is not as dark as the ocean. I'm just going to create one fluffy cloud into the sky because I want to place a sentiment into that cloud after we finish. Now since this layer has already dried, I'm going ahead and adding some concentrated paint using my thinner brush to create those waves. Again, this is something Christina Werner has taught us over the years, and I'm trying to just follow her religiously and create those beautiful waves behind my hula girl. So I want to just name her something like Margarita rather than calling her the hula girl here. So I'm creating some ground for Margarita here using the tenacious steel because it appeared like she's floating in mid-air, and I did not want that. So I'm just giving her some ground and some textures, like she's standing on some mossy rock by the ocean under the open skies with one fluffy cloud floating above her head. And that is what the idea is. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the music on max volume now, and you guys can enjoy whatever is happening or just criticize whatever is happening. You can see all the ink colors that I'll be using on your screen while I paint her, and I'll be back soon. Now that I've finished painting Margarita, I'm just drawing the mouth and the nose and the eyes, and I'm gonna give her some flush cheeks because she's suntan, you know, she's standing under the sun, so she has some red rosy cheeks over there. Again, diluting the paint in a lot of water to get that subtle pink color on her cheeks. For the sentiment up in the crowd, I'm going back to the same stamp set, and I chose the sentiment Hello Sunshine. I'm going to stamp it onto my bookmark using the same Stampaholic, and the ink that I'm using is VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I'm going to go ahead and juice up my stamp and just fling the door again and stamp out that Hello Sunshine sentiment into my cloud. I also decided to add another sentiment right at the bottom of the bookmark, and there were such lovely sentiments, but I decided to go for the one which was really apt, which said sending saltwater kisses. So I really like this. I'm going to stamp it out right at the bottom in the same fashion as I did for Hello Sunshine. I am using the same ink as well. I initially thought of heat setting this and using some embossing powder, but then the paper is not really smooth and it really absorbs all of that sticky ink, so it was very difficult. So eventually I decided to go for black ink again. To give it the complete look of a bookmark, I need to thread in some ribbon or twine. For that, I'm just punching a hole at the top right in the center. So I decided to use the ribbon in the color which coordinates with the blouse of Margarita, which is in the shade of purple. And to complete the look, I also will tie some jute twine. I'm not sure if it's jute twine or paper twine, right around that purple ribbon. But you will see that I really struggle with creating bows. Now what I noticed is whenever I try creating a perfect bow, I create it upside down. So instead now I try becoming really smart with my project and flip it upside down and then try creating a pretty bow, so that it really matches with my project and it looks pretty and it's balanced rather than one loop being bigger than the other one. And I'm really proud of this little hack that I've made for myself. I'm going to add some sequins by Paperishes. This is the under the sea sequins by Paperishes. It comes in a tiny jar, looks very pretty. These sequins are in various colors and various shapes, so I really like them. And they also have a shell-shaped sequins, which was apt for this project. Now I'm adding some extra accents using the Nuvo's crystal drops in the color Morning Dew, which basically dries out clear. And it gives this dimension like there's water splattered on the project, so I really like it. There you can see a little sheen, but it's not really clear. It will be clearer when it dries. And this is how the finished project looks. As you can see, I have drawn some outlines for Margarita because I had a feeling that the no boundary painting did not come out that well, but I'm very happy once I have drawn the outline for the image. This bookmark totally reminds me of the summers because for me the summers are all about going to the beach and having some fun. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. And I really thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great day ahead and see you soon.